That Pedish, and then this is Pshat, Yaakov said to them, when Yaakov Avihem, Yaakov the father said to them, Oisi Shikaltem, Yosef Einenu, Shimon Einenu, Vies Binyamin Tikachu, Olayo Yukolon, Tait Shadenu says, Zerem is Alpei Chachas HaSeichel. This is the Musar that the Seichel gives to these Balei Gaiva. Seichel Mechiach is a Balei Gaiva, Ritzim is Gadel. The Seichel gives Musar to these Balei Gaiva who want to consider themselves great. Ki Yaakov hu bechinas ha-Seichel. Yaakov is the Indian of Seichel, Kamesha Tirgim Unkel is, V'Yaakiveni V'Chakmeni. Yaakov is the Indian of Chachma. Zeh Avihem Ki Av B'Chachma. Because Abba is an Indian of Chachma. That's the first one of the Midas, is Abba and Chachma. Ima is Bina. So Av is an Indian of Chachma. Yanushas Seichel Mechichon V'Yomelahem. Avihem the Av B'Chachma, that means the Seichel is giving them Musa and says to them, Oisi Shikaltem. What's Pshat Shikaltem? You're losing me. L'shakel means like doing mapil, to lose a child. Shikaltem, you're losing the Seichel. Because, if there's anybody who has Gaiba, his Chachma goes away from him, he loses the Chachma, Chaz shown. That's one thing. Yosef Einenu Zebechinas Tikuney Zohar. Yosef means to correct a wrong. Einenu isn't here. The correction of the wrong is not here. You haven't got it. I know Adayim like Tikuney Zohar. You did not. You weren't misaking yet the wrongs. Which is for a shame and a disgrace to you. These wrongs. You should be ashamed of these things. Because correcting the wrongs, the shanda is an Indian of Yosef. Al Shem Osaf Alikim Escher Posi. That she called him Yosef, Hashem collected, did away with my shame. So Yosef means doing away with the shame. But by you, Yosef, you haven't got this doing away with the shame. The wrongs are still here. Because you haven't got the Bechina of Yosef, because your wrongs are not corrected, therefore you haven't got the Bechina of Shimon either. What's the Bechina of Shimon? The Shimon of Bechina is Ki Shama Hashem, Ki Snua Anechi. Hashem heard that I am Snua, I am disliked. One who corrects his wrongs, that person is disliked. But you haven't even got that dislike. They don't even dislike you. Because you are not disliked. Why? Because you aren't misaking yourself. You surely can't give musa to somebody else. Because they'll tell you first correct your own wrong, then tell us musa. So maybe you cannot give musa. If you don't give musa, therefore you're not disliked. Because one of his musa, he is the one that's disliked. Whom the people of the city like, not because he is so good, like he doesn't give any musa, so Mele, he is disliked because he gives musa. But you, who cannot give musa because you haven't even corrected your own mistakes, so therefore you're not disliked. Shimon the meaning of Shimon of dislike doesn't exist by you. Yes, Binyamin Tikachu. But you want Binyamin. Zen al Gadlus. Binyamin is the Indian of Gadlus. Gaiva. Binyamin al Shem Eretz Yisrael Benyamin. Binyamin al Shem Eretz Yisrael. He was born in Eretz Yisrael, the first one. Eretz Yisrael, he can write call it Eretz Yisrael is higher than the Chol Hatzos, Indian of Gadlus. Ayakash Nachman also very cashler. What that? How can you have Binyamin who's a Yisrael Kedusha should be Gadlus? He says because you have to have Gadlus also Kedusha. You're supposed to be have a Askanomis and it's Gadlus Kedusha. But in this case, by them they don't have the. By them they take the Gadlus of what, of Tumo, of Gaiva. Yehainu Loidai Shein Lechem Kol Bechinas Halalu. Not only you haven't got all these Bechinas, you haven't got the Bechina of Yosef. You haven't got the Bechina of Shimon, which means doing away with the wrongs and being disliked because you give Musa. You haven't got those two Bechinas. In Kol Zeh, the Yes Binyamin, the Totikoch. In addition to that, you're going to go take the Binyamin, the Gadlus, Shatamlik from Atzon Gadlus, you're taking the Yisrael Gadlus. Behind the Siyam, Seichel, Mechichesam, this is the last word, the conclusion of the words of the Seichel, giving a Musa, Allah Yakulona. result is ki akol meifel alai. Upon me falls the whole burden and the loss. Ki kol hamir skoyach achmoshlus bakazimim. Because anybody has gaiva, he loses his chachma. So I see she counts on me is the loss. You lose the sechel because of that. Therefore, and it says if you drop the gaiva, then you'll be able to give musa. Then you will have the mitzvah shimon. You'll correct your own words and you'll be then you won't have any more gaivas. So you'll get back to sechel because the person hasn't got gaiva, then the chachma remains. Oh, v'ya'itza ha'ye'utza l'vatel ha'gaiva. Eitza yitzza l'bal ha'gaiva, as it doesn't go, gisa. Eitza yitzza for the bal ha'gaiva, the vatel ha'gaiva, shehi ha'avodah zora, which is avodah zora. The gaiva is avodah zora. This whole thing is based on, remember that. Gaiva is avodah zora. Because of Taya Vas Hashem Kol Gvalev. The Gemara says that Taya Vas Hashem Ta'ivo is in the avodah zora. Kol Gvalev. Gaiva by Hashem is Ta'iva, like Avodah Zorah. Ikeruhu, Ta'iva means despise, the Mias. By Hashem, like Avodah Zorah. Ikeruhu, al Yadei, his Karvas for Tzadikim. The battle is Gaiva, the Avodah Zorah, is still being a Skarab to Tzadikim. Oh, the Tikuney, like what the Tikuney is very called, is the Truah, the Ihu, Rucha, through Truah. What is Truah? A blast, which is Ruach of Erev, Ruach, is Aver Elacher. The Kelacher, the Avodah Zorah, is this Aver, it's done away with. What is this Ruach? The tzadik who bechinas Rucha. The tzadik emes is the bechina of Ruach. Meshikosov ish asher Ruach boy. We had by Yeshua, ish Ruach boy. We mentioned before the other title. The tzadik is the bechina of Ruach. The al yodoi nichna Ruach gavoyaha Kelacher. Through this tzadik emes, which is the Ruach, there is nichna, the ruach gavoiha, the other ruach gavoiha, the kelacher, the avodah zorah, which is gavoiha, that means gaiva. Menachem le'acher echod. From kelacher is made echod instead of acher. Why? Ki hu kaitza the ois dalad. Shemeno dalad rucha, because the tzadik emes is called the kaitz of ois dalad that changes the reish to a dalad, that little kaitz. From this tzadik emes and this ruach come forth the dalad ruchais. He is a mention on dalad ruchais. Which is kosuv koyam al Hashem arba ruchais bo'ei haruach. We had it before. You know tzitzis and you know tefillah. The tzadik emes comes in tefillah. Zeh loshem teruah. This is the Indian of teruah. Teruah is called ruach. But why is it called teruah? Loshem teroyim b'shevet barzel. Teruah means to break, to smash. To smash the goyim b'shevet barzel with a whip of iron. Yehu mishaber ruach gavoiha kelachek kvidos, because he breaks this ruach gavoiha, this gadlus, which is kelachek kvidos of a disorder. That's why it's called truah, motion to break, because the opposite of ruach gavoiha is ruach nishbora. Truah is broken ruach, alev nishbora, the keruch nishbora. That's the opposite, and that breaks the ruach gavoiha of a disorder. This ruach nishbora is tzilah oni. The oni is a alev nishbora. That's thinking that oni is inside again. This is tzilah oni. Can destroy, can be ma'avir the keil acheres, which is avodah zorah, which is gaiva. Rabbi Nachman says, "Zeh bechinas rikudin liamchas kav." This inyan of ruach, the ruach shel tzadik, is an inyan of rikudin liamchas kav. Kudin means raglin, dancing with the feet, and mchas kav is an inyan of yodin, yodayim. Rikudin liamchas kav nimshochem bechinas rosh b'leiv. Committed b'chush, like we see in actual life, that rikudin liamchas kav comes from the ruach, the spirit in the person's heart. The ayudei simchas halev, to the simcha in his heart, from meraked u'makeh kaf al kaf. He dances and claps hands. To move the Tikuney, what the Tikuney Zohar, Hai rucho noshid b'shispirkin l'droyo b'shispirkin l'shukin. This ruach shebalev blows this ruach into the 6 parts of the arm, that's the yodayim, and the 6 parts of the shuk, the rego and reglayim. U'b'chinas u'mchaz kaf, b'chinas l'kudin. What's the b'chinas u'mchaz kaf and l'kudin? Zeh b'chinas libay nosa s'raglo. His heart raised his feet. It means that he was happy, so he walked fast. But through the leiv nosa s'raglo, hainu ayudei haruach shebalev bon harikudin. The ruach of the leiv come harikudin, which means picking up the feet and dancing. Hainu ayudei tzadik shehu b'chinas ruach kanal nispatel hagaivo. that through the tzadik, who is a bechinas ruach, so the gaiva becomes botel. This gaiva of a zora becomes botel. Moshe Kosov, al tevay any regel gaiva, do not bring me to regel gaiva. So we see from here that gaiva is avodah zora. Let's take avodah zora as klipos. Then it's avodah zora klipos. Tail achet. It's the klipos also. And these klipos, the Kodesh says that in the kedusha you have the kaimas. The kaimas adam hayan. Now the klipos can reach only up to a certain part. The dakas they can reach higher, very much the dakas. But the main achiza of the klipos is in the raglim, the raglayim. That's why there's a posek which says that the Zohar is based on a posek like leha yerdes movis. Like leha yerdes movis. Posek in Mishlei. It says like the raglim reach down to movis, to the sikha the maisa, which is the klipos. That's what the klipos have the main achiza. It means Pashut and the raglayim, the netzach v'hoid, they are the ones who suffer most. The klipos and the sabib netzach v'hoid, the raglayim. That's why they call the raglayim, and that's what we call the Yadayim. So in the raglayim you have most of the klipos. Altavay any regel gaiva, I should be saved from this regel gaiva, from the achiza of the klipos in the raglayim. How? Through this ruach of the tzadik emes. Liboy nofes raglav. It raised the raglayim from among the klipos. It took the tumor out of the raglayim. The nispatel ha'avodah zora, and after that the avodah zora one came nispatel. Moshe Kosov v'rach to ragleichem. Aharon said to the strangers, wash your feet. So the Gemara Darshan said avodah zora. Wash off the obok of avodah zora, the dust of avodah zora. So we see that the union of being malan, nofes raglav, to take the raglayim out of the klipos. Ukshenis alo haraglim, when the raglayim on is ala, alidei harikudim, through the rikudim, which means raising the feet. The chinas nosa liboyas raglav, the china where his heart, the ruach, the lay, which gives the simcha into his feet, that raises his feet. And it's batel hagaiva, hainu ha'avodah zora, and the gaiva, which means the avodah zora, becomes bottle. Then talking hadinim. So that in Mela, once the avodah zora, it becomes bottle. So the dinim becomes talking. He calls man sheyesh avodah zora ba'olam, because as long as there is avodah zora in the world, charein af ba'olam. So there is charein af. There is kas, which means dinim. Ukeshenes abed ha'avodah zora, it's abed charein af. As soon as the avodah zora becomes this abed, as soon as it's done away with, it's made to disappear. So the charein af, the kas, the din of Hashem also are made to disappear, and shochim chasodim. And we have instead chasodim, hasdei Hashem instead, that take the place of the din. The oz haraglin, hem bechinas raglei chasidov yishmael. That the raglei chasidov yishmael becomes the raglei chasidov. And the raglim is yishmael becomes chasidov chasodim. Chasodim take the place of the klipos which before were musabed the raglim. I know the bechina is chasodim, the bechina of chasodim instead of the klipos, instead of the avodah zora. I know the bechina is chastei David hane'emonim. Chastei David, the Zohar Kodesh means netzach v'hoid, the chastei David. He's chastei David hane'emonim daikek, in his batlu haminas v'hakvidas. Because the minas and kvidas became this batel, through what? Through liboy nosa esragel, to the ruach, the tzadik emes, which raised the raglim from the minas and avodah zora, from the minas and kvidas. So they became batel, and instead you have the chasodim taking the place of the din. Now it didn't become batel. So now, for one thing, here we see kinida. No doubt that this is the kavanah that the Likutey said in the Kefei Eid, says that the seventh Betla was the one with the bracha on the raglayim, and they tie it up with the beginning of the story with the Ben Melech. The sixth Betla, the one is Menachem the Bas Melech, and the seventh Betla, who was the one with the koyach and the raglayim, will be Menachem the Ben Melech. Beginning of the story talks about Ben Melech, who fell into Chashapi courses, who fell into Minas, who had an achiz on him. He said that the one who had the koyach and the raglayim, that means the tzadik emes, who can be noisei his raglov, who can raise the raglayim from the klipa. He is the one that can be merapeh the Indian courses, because once you raise the raglayim from the klipa from the zara, you have a chasadim. Avodah zara becomes bottle. So really, he is the one that can cure the Ben Melech. That's the tie in there. And Nosson says, that a person's main uvda in life, naturally, is the mevakle Arizal and klipos, which means he has to be misakim the raglan, like lion. How does he do it? R Nosson says through the mitzvah of the Torah. The main mitzvah is to give birth to Yevnevia. That if he has a son, so the Gemara says that Bro Kara de Avuha. The son is the regel of the father. What's pshat? If the son is Mesakin, that's the tikkun for the regel of the father. That's why the Rosenfeld says, that's what the Likutey Kodesh brings, that the Ein Isha Keres is this, and Isha says a Keli. The woman becomes a Keli Shlama through the Ruach, Hailot the Shadi Begavo, that the husband places in her a Ruach, and that Ruach brings to what? To the Leda of the Ben, and Ruach Kara de Avuha. That's why the very Kodesh Taish is Raglai, I think, or the very Kodesh, that Raglai is in Itza. Raglai is the Do Itza. That Raglin is the woman too. The wife is called Raglin. So that's why you have to, this Ruach, the Shadi Gavo, is the Ruach of the Tzadik Emes, who raises the Raglin. He places in her this Ruach HaKusha and raises this Raglin. So what happens to Moshe in case he is not Zeichet to raise her? This Madrege. Moshe, he dies without giving birth to a son. He hasn't got this Bro Kara de Avuha. So the Tikuma is, the tikkun is to his brother who has to marry her. And then, Yikorei al Shem HaMeis. That the child which is born, he is misakin that chisoron in the raglan. So he gives birth to a son, and Yikorei al Shem HaMeis, he's misakin the raglan of the meis. What happens if, let's say, he doesn't want to be through Yibum? He says, Ach geva cholso na'aloi. Because na'aloi is a bechina of tikkun haraglan too. So you have it either through Yibum or through chalitza. But else, the main tikkun that a person has to have in life is the sakin to stop the achizas haklipas in the bechinas raglan. And that's done through hayrucha the shadi begavo. So this ruach, this means the ruach, of course, means the ruach tzadik, who has the koyach to be Nosson Sraglov, Liboy Nosson Sraglov, Yoshe Balay, which means the koyach tzadik, who can raise the raglan from the bechina of any regel gaiva by the Zohar, to the bechina of ragli Chassidut Yishmael. What should Yishmael, the tzadik emes is shemed, the raglan, that he should bring it to a regel of chesed, rather than the klipas which had before. That's for the raglan, that's for the Likutey. One thing, this is also bechina Mchaz Kaf of Yadayim. Ki al Yadayim HaRuach Neskala HaOras HaYadayim. Because through the Ruach of the Leiv, or also Neskala, are revealed the HaOras HaYadayim. Hora means the oil of the Yadayim. Why? The Likutey Kodesh says that the Klipos have a koyach, they are unique from the Raglin to the Raglayim. They go so high up as the Yadayim, they can't be Masada with the Yadayim. So what then? They can't be anything. They can't bring the Klipos, can't be Masada completely, but they can be Machshech the oil of Yadayim. They bring it to a sort of Chashkos. So Mela to be Masakin here, you've got to bring out the Ha'oras Yadayim. Bring out the oil of Yadayim, which means to get the Chashkos away from them. It's not as bad, let's say, as the Raglan. You could take it as the Raglan. Here, because the Raglan mamish assumes the Klipos is only Shavim Zora Kemacher, but the Yadayim is only in the Choshech. So the Mchaz Kaf is the Ruach, which is Megala the Ha'oras Yadayim. So the Ruach the Ha'oras Yadayim is Megala. Moshe Kosev, Koil Doidi Deifek. Deifek said Bechina Ruach Nuvim Tikuney. Deifek is hitting a Deifek, the Ruach. That's the beginning of the posek. The Samach Lei, and close it says, Doidi Shalach Yodei Menachem. He stretched out his hand from the opening, through the opening, which means that what that his hand became the skala, through the Deifek, through the Ruach. The Bechina says, Skala is Ha'oras Yadayim. Bechina that the Ha'oras Yadayim became revealed. Through what? Through the Deifek, through the Ruach. And the Bechina says, Mchaz Kaf. Because the Spatel Ha'avad, the Zohar Haina Kfidis, and then too, if the Zohar and Kfidis on the Spatel through the Mchaz Kaf, the Bechina is Vahi Yodav Emuno. Now what's Pshat by here the Emunah? What's Pshat to be Megala the Ha'oras Yadayim? What do we have in the Yadayim? The Klipos cannot be Misabev, and besides, if you can't reach the Yadayim, the Klipos, how do you have Avodah Zorah Kelacha around the Yadayim? The Torah says that even the Yadayim, you have the darkness, you have also Klipos, you have also Gevulas. But if you have the Yad Smoil, it's Gevula. The Iker is Chesed, it's Megala Chasadim. You have the Atzma, which is Gevura. Gevura is a dinim. You have the Gala. You got to bring out to be Ma'avid the Gevura and bring only Chesed. That's why the pasuk says that through Emunah, which is against the Krios, Emunah Shleimus. And the Zohar Kodesh brings in this point, Vayihi Yodav Emunah. The Zohar Kodesh asks, how can it say Vayihi Yodav Emunah? It should say what? Vayihi Yodav Emunah. Lashon Adam Yodav. The Zohar Kodesh says because Iked Emunah is to be in Galilee, how to see a Dayim. Achala Smola B'Yamina, to be that the smell should be nechal completely in the Yamin. The Chassidut should be Misabed and Tari the Gevura. The Gevura should become Michal in the Chesed, like we said by Hashem Ahal Davar. Kim Ahal Davar, both the Hashem Echad and Shmoi Echad, that the Gevura too should become Chesed. Hashem Echad and Shmoi Echad, even the Gevura should be Chesed too. By Yehi Yoda Ramud, Yoda became one, that the slow Zechor be Yamin, through what? Through the fact that the Arizal was Mispatel, through the Koil Dedi Basic, that Koil he was Misaki in the Bechinas Ha'oras Hiyadayim. That's the pshat that the Avodah was left and the Emunah was the Shleimus. Nimtzo Sha'al Yadei HaTzadik kind of Bechinas Rosh Hashanah resulted through the Tzadik. We see that the Tzadik through the Bechinas Rosh Hashanah and this Gala Ha'oras Hiyadayim and Eglayim. So the Ha'oras Hiyadayim and Eglayim become this Gala revealed. Kind of Bechinas Yikod Mechaz Kaf. And in Sbattle HaGai V'Vek Fetus, the Gai V'Vek become bottle. And in Svabbe HaMunah, the Emunah becomes the Svabbe, the Osmis Gai V'Lagli of the Misha. We have the posek V'Lagli of the Misha. The Regel is smooth, straight. Shul Bechinas Emunah, the Syrian Jewish, as we said. Ki HaMina is Bechinas not Ugly. Because Minas Epikosis is not and it's crooked, the feet are crooked. Now that also, like also says in Tillim, Ki Ma'at not Toyu Ugly, Ki Ma'at my feet are crooked, they're not straight. Shenema Shama Shehisiya Liba Minas, it's hard to talk them into Minas Epikosis. That's why he said, Nikolai Ugly, Nikolai Sham. But Ugly under the Misha is Maida Alamuna. Ugly Misha shows Emunah, which is Yoshua. Tedach Yoshua, not the Torah Ugly. You know, Miskayim the Yodav Emunah. And then two Bali Yadayim, two you have Yodav Emunah. So you have Emunah both but Ugly, and Emunah Yadayim. Yeah, Torah, he gam came Bechinas Yodav and Ugly. Torah Gdoisha is also a Bechina both Yadayim and Ugly. Kiyesh Biad Torah, Nigla and Nista. Because in the Torah you have Nigla and Nista, two parts. Nigla Bechinas Yadayim. Nigla the Bechina Yadayim. Because she calls the Shal Yadayim Menachayr. Menachayr and Menachayr Saravuchais. She'll be Nigla. He starts out saying from the open, from the whole, it's open, Nigla. That's Yadayim or Nigla. Menachayr Bein Udragis Chayr is Choros Saravuchais. Engraved on the Luchais, which means she'll be Nigla, which means you can see. It's Ksav. Nista the Heim Bechinas Raglan. Nista the Bechina of Raglan. Nista the Torah Bechina of Raglan. Mem Chazal. The Imam says in Sukkah. Chamuke Yirei Chayach. Ma Yerach B'Seiser. After the Torah B'Seiser. Chamuke Yirei Chayach means that which is the part of the Yerach which is hidden. It's called the Torah. It's called Chamuke Yirei Chayach. So it says just like Yerach is B'Seiser. The Yerach is an organ that's hidden. So too there is Seiser the Torah. Kloli is that Torah. Only time they can ask Leiv. Cloud the entire is called Leiv. Shemaschelas the days and same as the Lamed. Begins with the days of Bereshis and ends with the Lamed of Leni Kol Yisrael. So together this Lamed Beis Leiv. Sheshon Mishkan HaRuach. There's the resting place of the Ruach. The Noshe B'Shis Pirik in the Droyinu, B'Shis Pirik in the Raglan. And a big level is the Ruach HaLeiv as Noshe blows into this Ruach into the Yadayim and Aglayim, which means that the Kol of the Torah it consists of Nigla and Nista. Zeh Bechinas Mordechai V'Yester. This Bechinas Mordechai V'Yester. The Hamon, Bechinas Purim. Bechinas Goydel Shepil Hamon. Purim is the Goydel, the lot which Hamon drew. Bechinas Eimer Su'odim. All these are the Bechinas that we spoke about. Eimer Su'odim is the Eimer, the Sfira Su'odim. The Hamon Bechinas Avodah Zorah. We start with Haman as the Bechina of Avodah Zorah. Kima Mechazal she'osa atzmai Avodah Zorah. As the Gemara says, he made himself Avodah Zorah. The very Kodesh says that Amalek, Haman, Amalek Gimatia Kelachet. B'shvil zeh he pilpur hu haggodo b'chodesh shemeis by Moshe. Therefore, he was mapil as godo in the month of Adar in which Moshe Rabbeinu was nostalgic. Why? Ki Moshe Rabbeinu hu vatla Avodah Zorah. Because Moshe Rabbeinu is a vatli Avodah Zorah. B'shvil the mikvah more based P'Oed. Therefore, the Gemara says he is buried opposite based P'Oed. Avodah Zarah based P'Oed. K'nei Lavatel ha'Avodah Zarah shem P'Oed. K'nei Lavatel Avodah Zarah of this summit of this Elil P'Oed. What is Rosh Chazal? Ki Moshe Gimatbiya Charoin Af. Because Moshe Rabbeinu is a Gimatbiya Charoin Af. Ki hu mevatel Charoin Af shel ha'Avodah Zarah. Because he is mevatel the Charoin Af, the dinim that are caused because of Avodah Zarah. He is opposite. His Charoin Af is opposite the Charoin Af Avodah Zarah. That means that he is opposite of Avodah Zarah's Gaiva. Moshe Rabbeinu, the Onov, is the Charoin Af negative of the Avodah Zarah of Gaiva. Because he received the Torah, which is the Bechinah Yodem V'Raglim, Shayadehem, the battle of the canal. Because through this Yodem V'Raglim, so they were the battle. Like we said before, that Yodem V'Raglim is in Amunah, against Avodah Zarah. Yalkein, he built Pur B'Yerach Shemei Stoi, Moshe. Therefore, Haman made his girdle in the month in which Moshe was installed. He chosha because he thought he kvar Moshe was installed. Already, he had a battle kach with the Zorah. Was a battle kach with the Zorah? The ein oid mish yuchal a battle kach with the Zorah. He thought there was nobody else left in battle kach with the Zorah. Therefore, so he made it in this month. Aval Mordechai b'Esther hayelahem kach levatla with the Zorah shel Haman. Mordechai and Esther had the kach in battle with the Zorah shel Haman. Therefore, in their time, the Jews received the Torah anew. The Chazal, the Gemara says, Kimu v'kibu ha'Yehudim. And then the Megillah says, Kimu v'kibu ha'Yehudim, Kimu ma'asher kibu kfar. That they confirmed what they had already received. The Kabbalah of the Torah was made, now confirmed. Kimu v'kiblu, that's Yodem v'Raglim. Kimu ze b'chinas Raglim, Kimu to stand as Raglayim. The Kimu ze b'chinas Yodim, the Yad is b'kabel. B'chinas ha'Torah b'atzmo kanal, it's the Torah itself, the Nigla Nista. Ze b'chinas Mordechai v'Esther. Ze b'chinas Mordechai and Esther, Yodem v'Raglim. Mordechai Mordechai. The Gemara says in Chul Mordechai, and the Torah b'nayin, what do you call it? The Torah, because it says the posek, and you see some Mordechai. The Talmud was says for it, Mordechai, that's Mordechai, is Mordechai. Today we said is Lashon Chedus. There is Lashon of Chedus. That's Chodesh al Hamucha. Today means freedom. It means far from the quitters, away from the quitters. The Bechinas Yudayim, K'meshikosav Yodi, Sheochilim and Achoyer Kanal, and Achoyer in Yudayim, Nigla. The Esther, Bechinas Shukin, Esther, the Ninyan of Shukin Aglayim. That's the Yerach. My Yerach, the Seisei Canal, Esther, the Ninyan Seisei Hastoro. So therefore Esther is which is Hastoro, the Shukin Biraglayim. Therefore Mordechai is Yodayim, Deroi, Chorus, Chedus, and Esther, the Chin of Hastoro, that's the Raglayim. Ze Loshen Purim, Hano Bittul Avodah Zarah. Purim is in Yonah B'Mevatli Avodah Zarah. Meshikosav Pura Dorachti Lovadi Yumei Aman Einish Iti. Hashem says Pura Dorachti, and Pura means the gas. Gas is the wine cellar. Dorachti, I stepped on when you step on the grapes. I did it myself to wipe out the Avodah Zarah from all the Amim. And notice the Lashon is Dorachti, I stepped on it. That's in have the Raglayim, to be the Vatli Achizas, to the Klipas of the Raglayim. The Ayadei ha'oras Mordechai v'Esther, v'yihorah Mordechai and Esther, and Mechilchei, and Raglim, is Patla Kfidas, and is Sabe and Muna b'oil Ayadeihem. Therefore, those two Mordechai and Esther were Ma'abed, the Inyan Muna in the world, Meshikosav, both of them. By Mordechai, so they gave him Hadassah. It means he raised Hadassah. But it says that he was Megadles ha'amunah. He raised the Amunah. U'broksi by Esther, it says, Ka'asher hoiso bi'omno itoi. Like she was bi'omno be'amunah. Yishnei ben Bechinas Amunah, both a Bechinas Amunah, and Zenasa Yidei Ruach Kanal. This is all done through the Ruach. Ruach Shabbalei, which is Zenasa Yidei Yadayim Raglayim. Zeh Bechinas Esther B'Ruach HaKodesh Nemru. The Bechinas Esther B'Ruach HaKodesh Nemru, the Gemara says. Because it says, Vayemen Homan Aliboy. Yemen Homan B'Liboy. How do we know? Because Ruach HaKodesh Nemru. We see that says Esther B'Ruach HaKodesh Nemru. That Esther is in the B'Ruach HaKodesh, Ruach Shabbalei. Einer Bechinas Liboy Nosa is Raglav. Liboy, the Ruach HaKodesh, Ruach HaVelev, Nosa is Raglav, which is Esther in Raglav. Yikir HaAkum Toli Bot, because the main Akum, the Avodah Zarah, the Klipos are totally, they hang on, they have Oiches in Esther, she Bechinas Raglav. Kamesha Koslov Ragleho Yerdos Movis. that the raglim are down to the situ the Maisa, where the klippers are. Okay, he could take in the Avodah Zorah on your door, therefore he could take in the Avodah Zorah is through Esther. Dafka, more than through Mordechai, because the Avodah Zorah is in the raglim. Okay, Daika Esther the HaKadosh Nemra, therefore we had to say Dafka Esther the HaKadosh Nemra. You have to have the HaKadosh, the Rosh Hashanah, to be Nasser the raglim. Actually, Emes Tikkun, Avodah Zorah Gam Kei Mordechai Canal, all of the Emes Tikkun is through Mordechai also, but Emes Hadassah, he's in the second Emunah, Rabbi Nachman, Sheikah, Avodah Zorah, Tluya Bo, because the main Avodah Zorah is telling the Raglin, the Alkein Al Yodik, that Tikkun, therefore through her, is the main Tikkun. Alkein Nikah, something Al Shem Esther Daska. It was called Al Shem Esther because the main Tikkun, Avodah Zorah of Haman was through Esther. The Yehidu the Daika, Esther B'Rach HaKadosh Nemra. And we said, Daika, Esther B'Rach HaKadosh Nemra. Kiruv believe. Ayodin is Gale Ha'oros Yadayim Raglayim. Through the Ruach believe is this Gale the Ha'oros Yadayim Raglayim. Ikat Kluya B'Raglayim B'chinas Esther. The name is totally Raglayim B'chinas Esther. The Ruach believe is Sakin Yadayim Raglayim. With this we can understand. The Zohar Kodesh says that Arizal brings that the Lashon of the Zohar Kodesh is so hard that Bina Ad Hoydis Pashtis. That Bina, Imo is the spashit ad hoid. Such a big difference from bina to hoid. You have chacham bina das. Bina is the second one, and you have these 7 spheres. And bina is the spashit ad hoid. Because the IC is bina. The letters of bina is bina yisoid next to hoid. Bina is the spashit until hoid. Why? Because that's the soid in that word now. The bina, the rosh b'leiv, the spashit ad haraglayim. The rosh b'leiv is masakin raglayim. This is the Bechina, the Oimes Sa'idim, which at the time when Haman came to Mordechai, he was learning the Hilchos Oimes Sa'idim. Oimes Bechinas Mordechai, Oimes the Bechina of Mordechai, Ayin Moed. The word Oimed has an Ayin, and the word Moed in it, Ayin means open, nigla, seen. Moed the Rev, Ocean Chedus. Haina Bechinas Choros Ha'aluchai, Saltikli Choros Ha'lachedus, for Bechinas Sa'idim Benigla. Also, so the red is also benigla. Shul bechinas ayin be'ayin nira Hashem aleichem. Ayin be'ayin nira Hashem. It's ayin moed. Ayin be'ayin. So oidim is bechinas Esther. So we have oidim is bechinas Mordechai. It's daim. Oidim is bechinas Esther b'rochai kodesh. Mashikosav kiseidim alei deshe, like a storm wind on the grass. Shulosh and ruach. So oidim is an union of ruach. B'rochai kodesh. HaKadosh is in Esther, because Esther HaKadosh Nemra. Shvil Zekhe Bo Haman the Mordechai Motzoi Oisek B'Yemes So'edim. Haman came to Mordechai to tell him to go and ride on the king's horse. He found him being Oisek and didn't by Mesoidim. Amalahem. So Haman said to Mordechai and his Talmidim, Oimes So'edim Didhu, your Oimes So'edim Otzi V'Notzach Oisiv Bono. Oisiv Bono. V'Notzach Haman and his sons. The way of the message. Through this Eimes which is Mordechai and Esther, which is Yodim V'Raglin, Shein Bechinat Mechaz Kaf V'Nikudin, Nispatel HaAvodah Zorah. So they are Nispatel HaAvodah Zorah, Shebechinas Haman, Bechinas Gaiva Canal, V'Shvil Zed, Tziva Haman Latis Eitz Gavoya Chamishim Amah. Therefore Haman commanded to make an 350 Amos high. He doesn't levatel koyach shel chamishim yom shel sfiras ha'omen. Shua koyach shel Mordechai Esther. There's what we levatel the koyach of the chamishim yom of this oimes oimen, sfiras ha'omen, which is the koyach of Mordechai and Esther. Oimen is Mordechai and Soidim is Esther. The self was that they were levatel by the Zoram. Therefore, he was Haman ha'oid. He himself was hung on this tree, which is the beginning of the oimes the chamishim amah the kedusha. Through the koyach of Mordechai and Esther, which is the Adayin like line, which is the Chaz Kaf and Likutey, which is Mevatali Avodah Zorah, the Gaiva Avodah Zorah. That page is the text. The Gemara Rabbi Nachman, Moharan, Amali Utaya. The Sfechi Yishmael said to me, "To Achvi Lachlu Kaidach." Come and I'll show you the Kaidach people who were swallowed up by the earth. Honestly, I went Chazal, I saw it today busy, 2 splits in the earth. How do you mafti kito? And there was smoke coming out of them. Shakli Gabba the Amra, I took a piece of shorn wool, Yamshini the Maya, I soaked it in water, the Anachne, but I should have and they placed it on the tip of his spear, the eye of the Hossam, and put it, stuck it inside. The Yapik, when he took it out, so it was smoldering. Amali, he said to me, Atis my shamas, listen to what you hear from there. The shamas I heard, they have an Amrin, Moshe Feinstein, Emes Medoin. Moshe is Torah, Emes. They are liars. Amali, he said to me, Kotlos, and Yun, Mahadilahu Gehenim, Mahaka, every 30 days, the Gehenim rotates them, brings them back here, Kibbosa, the Kalachas, like meat in a pot. The Amri, and they say like this, Moshe Feinstein, Emes Medoin. Moshe says, Emes and they are liars. Ashpam busy became the sip of the Baka Adam, the earth was split. Kitra ocean smoke, the Amra Baka, he is similar to mine, but the Sean Wally stopped in water. Get a Chassidut, honey, Gavri, the swore. Yabi saw your son and Mayan, even though he stopped it in water. That's his Husky for Shema. Listen, Shamas began, I heard they searched the other Chaim Shul, but they went down alive, so they can talk. They call him again and call it Shchedish, every day Shchedish. They come out, I said, Matman, I say, Kadesh, especially, they tell you to pot around so that you cook better. Louis the Kaidach, those was Kaidach who was swallowed up to the east of the Medrash, like the Medrash says, Kaidach Minhoya. Kaidach was not the Kaidach. Hainu Bechinas Avedazora Minus. The Chazoi today busy dynastic, the Naya Kitra Hainu Bechinas Aharon Av Shegemen Minus. I saw this 2 holes from which smoke was coming. This means an Indian of Haroin Af, Kas, Haroin Af, the Kas that comes from the nose. Which the course is good. Command of Chazar, the Gemara says, calls man Sheba, the Zara Baruch and up there. As long as there's no Zara in the world, so there is Kas in the world. We're today busy, these 2 holes, these 2 slits, Zebechinas, today Nikvei Ha'af, Sheyitzi Mehem Ha'oshon. These are the 2 openings in the nostrils from which a smoke comes out, which because of Allah Oshon Bi'apai. Smoke went up through his nostrils. The Shokil Gabba, the Amra, Zebechinas Ha'ime Canal. Amra is the Indian of Aime. Mashe b'mayo ze b'chinas so'idim, b'chinas ester b'ra'ad kodesh, she b'chinas raglin canal. The mayo, water is in yinav raglin, ki raglin heim afike mayim, because the raglin is in yinav afike mayim, springs of water. Ki heim b'chinas arve nachal, because they are the b'chinas arve nachal, zeh because arve nachal heim netzach v'hoid. Mama Chazal, why, like the Chazal say, like loy devarnash in an areven lay. Areven lay. In order to look at the feet of a person are an ore for him, the asa, the misbe, what Talmud Bavly say. Wherever he is wanted by the Malach HaMoves, when death calls, that's where his feet bring him to. That's the meaning of what? Avrakleho Yerdes Moves. Raglayim go down, they bring him, the Raglayim bring him to the Sitter of the Mesa, the Moves. So these Avenachal are called Raglayim because that's already because they're the Raglayim which are Areven lay. Areven Zebachinas Avenachal Afike Mayim. So this Afike Mayim is Mayos. We have now Amra which is Oime which is Mordechai. Oime Ayin Moed. Mayos in Esther, Raglayim. And Bechinas Mordechai vi Esther. Bechinas Yedayim Raglayim. Bechinas Amchas Kafri Kun Kanal. The Raglayim Amchas Kafri Kun. The Anche B'nei Shedulumcha Reimach Dor Ruach Mem. Reimach is the Yosias Ruach Mem. Shehume Arba Ruchais Boi HaRuach. It's the Ruach which is we said before. It's like Gemas the Amros Baruch. The case of the Eis Dalet. The Amem He Dalet Ruchais. The Mem is Dalet Ruchais. The Mem Stumo is 4 sides to it. Shebechinas Ruach HaTzadik the Noshib the Yodim V'Raglan Canal. The Ruach HaTzadik which is Noshib the Noshib Alay which goes into the Shis Pik and the Shis Pik and the Rag. The Reish HaRoimach who are Tzadik and the Reish of this Roimach, the Reish of this Ruach Mem is a Tzadik. You know that it's Ruach because from him comes out the Ruach. He's the Kais of the Yeis Dal Ruach. Because of Isha Sheruach Baikanah. V'yatkinhu v'achrech echruchi achrech loshen chayim v'arichas yomen achrech loshen chayim nechazim man chazal Yimah says Meirvin lo yachrech remiyot seidoi Yimah darshans the point I just said that Azamai when he catches birds he doesn't smolder the wings because he doesn't want to spoil it, wants to look good. But Azamai he goes to result is they fly away. The Yimah darshans that the Azamai lo yachrech Yachrech, Yichya Yarech. Lo Yichya v'lo Yarech. So we see the famous that Achrech means, yes, Yechia and Yesya, who live long, Reichus Yomim. Behind the Achne Chachruche, Moshe Chayim, Varichus Yomim. That through this Inyan Abim battle, the Gaiva through the Reish, through the Reish of the Rumcha, through the Ruach, so he's Reichus Reichus Yomim. Kai they beat like Gaiva, Hana, with the Zorai, there's a Chochma Tikuney canal. Because once the Gaiva is bottled, the Chochma is Tikuney, like I said before, that when there is Gaiva, the Chochma is like it, the Chochma goes away. But when the Zorai is bottled, the Gaiva, the Chochma is all taken. Why are they Chachma? Yes, we ask him. The Chachma goes wrong. Come on, she goes to Chachma to highest Allah. I'm allowed to see Sluhu, the Shamus, the Amid and Maish, Emes, Torah, Emes. Shehe, Maidim Allah Emes, the Day of Maidim Emes. She can Emes Kare, this Atsu, the Zikim, the Kabbalah, the Ruach Canal, when it is Kare, so they can receive the Ruach, find the Zikim, like Gaiva, the Zorah, the Letter, Gaiva, the broken, the Osma, Kirina, Filo, Elo, Shemis, the Mesa. Esklur Habayis, Barsham, Canal. Yes, then even those, the Mesa, Goyim, were also Makir, and Esklur Habayis. Yom Ali called Klafmian Hadro Gehem Lehocha. Yom Lehocha Meish of Hemis. Perish Ashbam, Bechol Chodesh. Every Chodesh. The means it is Chodesh. To call Dova Yesh Lai Chodesh, because every item has a Chodesh in origin. The Chodesh had Tshuva, who is Chodesh? The Chodesh of Tshuva is Reish Chodesh. Where does Tshuva come from? The origin from Reish Chodesh. Because that's Kavi Yochol, the Tshuva of Hashem. Keep Reish Chodesh. Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be you all like kapora. Kadosh Chazal. The Shchodesh B'Yemesh said, bring a kapora for me. The Gemara said, was Zebechin of Tshuva. You might bring a kapora for me because Ashmiyat Atiyas HaYareach. So it's in Kaviyachla have Tshuva Ilah. Tshuva Hashem. So the Bechin of Tshuva. The Tshuva Hazois. Nishtal Shelo. Bechol HaNevroyim B'Reish Chodesh. This tshuva is mishtalshel in all creations on Reish Chodesh. Why? What's the tshuva? Because the whole is very good that the klipos are unique to the begimus halavona. Begimus halavona is a chisorin. That's the klipos are unique from. On Reish Chodesh, when there is chidesh halavona, there is tikkun halavona, and the tenim misakim, tenim ma'av the klipos. And Esther is an Indian Ablavona too. Esther is Tahe, Siharo. So therefore, the Yavona is Nishchadesh and Nishchadesh. Tshuva is Nishchadesh. Mishvil Zeh Gam Koidech, the Adosoi, Muchrochim, Li'ezeh Chadam Nishchadesh. Therefore, Adosoi are also Muchrach, are forced to some kind of Charota on Nishchadesh. Some kind of Charota. Aval Tshuva, Eidum Elohim. The Tshuva for them doesn't help. Because they could tshuva is only in this world, during lifetime. Shabbos, Shabbos, one who works on it. If Shabbos prepares, and if Shabbos he can eat on Shabbos. That means one who prepares in this world can have something for the other world. You can't stop preparing over there. Preparing means doing tshuva. You can't do tshuva over there. Then so bevadai when if Torim was there, Haidosh, in this heart, and the Maidim again. Sure, they don't become potter with through this video, through this chavruta, the tshuva they have. They don't become part of the Gehenna. Yaakov Mahadir, the Gehenna Mahacho, therefore the Gehenna keeps rotating in the Gehenna here. This Torah was there, because they are not part of through this. They are not free from Gehenna. Yaakov became Ein Gehenna B'Reish Chodesh B'Reish Hayom. Still the Gehenna, the Chodesh is not like other days. Very close to the Chodesh is something like Shabbos. There isn't the actual Gehenna. The Gehenna B'Chodesh Chodesh Einay Ela Charota. Shemischartem Maidim Espaishin. The Gehenna B'Chodesh is only the Charota. They have, they're sorry, they regret, but they're maider, they're inspired, they're ashamed of what they did. They haven't got Gehenna, but they have the busha, the shanda, the shame of having the inspired, the maider, their sin, that itself is their Gehenna. The daik, that's what the Gemara is the daik, the hadra lahu, Gehenna lahacha. That that which they are mahadeh means chayzer b'tshuva. Shechayzer b'maidim, but they are they go back in the tshuva and they're maidim and misvadim. Who are Gehenna Mishalahem? Gehenna Hadra Lahu. The Gehenna is that which they go back and do and be maidim misvadim. That Perish V'yer HaMishpat HaTos Mafneihem. The Shabbat of posek Yisrael. The Chulta says that Shet Tosim Mafneihem Hushu Ish Sholi Ish L'chol Din Ish B'Taydo. Ish and Ish the same to all Din Ish B'Taydo. Perish L'chol Din Ish B'Taydo. Shet Tzarech L'ham Tikom. Tzarech L'hashvais. In order to order Din of the Taydo, that means the Gezeidos, the Din of the Taydo to be mantik these Dinim. You have to make a like. What's Taich? A like Isha v'ish and Aliyache Kuchabrichu Shchintei. Make him alike into one. To combine Kuchabrichu Shchintei Shel Bechinas Isha v'ish. That's the Shechina Hashem. Bechinas Mordechai v'Esther, because Esther the Hakodesh is the Shechina. V'zeh Peidish v'Eila Mishpotim v'Eila Kol Mokem Shnema v'Eila Meisef Al Rishonim. Rather, you have Ve'Eila Meisef and Ezel Al Rishonim. Bechinas Teisfeis v'Ribui, that means something additional. Bechinas Gaiva v'Dezoro. Anything which is additional is in your Gaiva v'Dezoro. Because of Menuchu Chashir Hashem. Hashem doesn't desire because you're a lot. But a lot is no good to produce a Gaiva. It means Gaiva. Hashem wants you to additional. זה בחינת מויסף על הראשונים, משום בחינת המון המולק, מה שכוסף וישת כאן המולק. מויסף, that means gaiva al הראשונים המולק. Gaiva is which is over the Zohar המולק. The Tikuney, what's taken against this, v'ela against this, gaiva over the Zohar, המשפוטים בחינת רוח. Taken is the משפוטים, which is בחינת רוח. מה שכוסף רוח משפוט. שיבים מלחמות. כי הרוח is stuck in הגaiva over the Zohar canal. Through this משפוטים, which is the ruach, is the taken for the gaiva over the Zohar. על זה שתוסף לפניהם היינו הוא שבו אישו לאיש בכל דינם שבתורה and the Mechines of Tokas Adinim. When you have this Avodah Zorah taken away, the Tikkun Hagayim Zorah, then you have Hushu Ishu Yish, that means on Tokas Adinim. He calls man Sheyesh Avodah Zorah B'olam Mecharinaf and Dinim B'olam. As long as there is Avodah Zorah in the world, it's Charinaf and Dinim. Adeiru Hanal Nesiyach which B'nech Shchintei, we're talking about Dinim, it's all Charinaf and B'olam. Through the Ruach Hanal, there's a Yichud B'nech Shchintei, and Dinim and Nimtak, and the Charinaf and Stalkanaf. The result is that you have the Hush Vishalish, you have the Yichud Kuchim Nechashchintei, and Mel Tzachrenaf is gone, there's some talk, there's a Dinim, there's Chassidut. Hine Klal Advonim Reinu, the Klal, the review of all its resumes, right there, Tzadik Shul Bechinas Aruch, is Aver, Kelachek, Fides. So the Ruach Abid Tzadik Emes, or the Kelachek, the Fides, the Minos is gone, it's taken away. Target they had Ruach born, they couldn't Luchas Kafir, this Ruach of Shibalev come, they couldn't Luchas Kafir. They had Tzadik Shibuchinas Ruach, this Alu, Horaglim, and this Kalor of Yadayim, because the Tzadik of the Bechin of Ruach, as he says, so even also this Laglov, there is an Aliyah to Raglayim from the Klippas. And there's Kalor of Yadayim, there's a order of the Yadayim is revealed. And it's Rabbe, Amunah Kirel Malach, the Amunah is a male in this Rabbe. He said before, so he's on Raglayim, so here the Amunah and Raglayim also. That's Laglov Nisha. The Alpeng Siv the Yosef Shul Bechinas at Tzadik Nivlis, when the Tzadik it says, Ubelo Decha La Yorim Ish Es Yodei V'Yesag, there is no Tikkun, no Haram, no raising to the Yad Yadam Naglaim without you. Kibil Odei Bechinas Yosef Shul Bechinas Tzadik, without the Bechinas Tzadik, He Ekshel Halis L'Har Yadam Naglaim Canal. It is impossible to have the Ha'olah Raising Yadayim Reglaim Tana. Hine Nikad, Moramata Shemeya, Sheniklo B'china Hidayim. From these words you can understand that Nigla is a Bechina of Yadayim. We said before, Nigla is Cholas HaLuchais. And the Shalachim Menachem, that's Nigla is Yadayim. This is the Bechinas Reglayim. This is the Bechinas of Reglayim. Careful now. Bechinas Mordechai the Esther. Mordechai is Yadayim and Esther is Reglayim. The Av, but the Arizal asks, the Av Shenister, who the Malam in Nigla, the W, the Nister is higher than Nigla. Nister is the highest Madrega, it's higher than Nigla. In Kolzeh, his scholars, Hanigla, Rocken Gavoiha. To be his scholars, Hanigla, Rocken Gavoiha, Dana Yadayim. The Nister Beraglayim, she will not be Yadayim. In Umuk, it's very deep how it's possible that if Nister is higher than Nigla, how come that Nister is Beraglayim, which is low, and Nigla is Yadayim, which is high? Well, you should consider the same Kashi have in the very Kodesh, Tanoim Mishukin, the Maroyim Yadayim. Tanoim, which are certainly higher, are Beraglayim. And the Maroyim are Yadayim. The Afsha Tanoim are Malam Maroyim, Tanoim are higher than Maroyim. Just like the very Kodesh says, there are a son in Middle Ba'oris, a son in the Emel HaAvos, I'll take a son in our Tanoim, a son Meshavech, I'll take a son of Tanya the Messiah, Tanya is from the Tanoim. The Tanoim are higher, the Yechinas Avos. We call Mokum, the Mokum Shul Matter, Mokum Meroim. Still they are on a place which is Matter, and Mokum Meroim, it's Reglayim. The Chena Vim Ksuvim. Also the Vim is certainly higher than Kesuvim, Tanakh. Still the Nevi'im are Beraglayim, Beraglin. The Vim Yoikim Meretzof Behai, Beraglin. And Ksuvim is the Malabi Adayim. The Mavayir al the Teres. There's a Teres in the Mavayir on this whole Indian. Teres Boshet. We said before that Tanoim are either Bechinas Avos and the Maroim Alamat. So why then do we say that Tanoim are Beraglin, Maroim are Yadayim? Why then do we say that Teresh Benista is Beraglin, Benigla is Yadayim? Why do we say that Nezim is Beraglin and Ksuvim is Yadayim? Because there's a chiluk between Nukva and Duchra. This part I'm trying to take off. I found Xavier Arizal, his own handwriting, about the Indian of this trade, and this is it. It is known throughout the world that Gaiva is a disgraceful midah. The Torah of Avraham and run away from it. That people who chase after coverage, who pursue coverage, they want to rule, and to lead the world. The end of them they say, they have it, within their power lies this beginning, to make figures. They spell tefillas and to pray, daven for themselves and for others. So Ish, the Navi who returned, the Ish is because he's a Navi, you spell about Chavach so daven for you and you live. This is known that Hashem Chosir, it's missing in the Chen Sachon. This has to be said. HaKadosh Baruch Hu mis Avod Tfilos Tzadikim. Hashem desires the Tfilos Tzadikim and Tzorach Leila Ketzvon She Yispal. You have to Tzadikim to Yispal Aleim. They should Yispal for you. Avod Bali Gaiva Ein Helchon El Tzadikim. Vavaksham She Yispal Aleim. Bali Gaiva do not go to Tzadikim to ask them. They should Yispal for them. And not only that, they come Eimanichem Shabna and Sheikh Leil Tzadikim Yispal Aleim. Don't even let other people go to Tzadikim to Yispal for them. Ki Amru Eva Bali Gaiva, because these Bali Gaiva say She Gam Hein Tzadikim Yichel Yispal. That they too are tzaddik and hagalof about them. Ain't tzaddik borders yesemehem. There's no bigger tzaddik than them. Uvazehem nikroim b'shem Melech. Therefore they are called b'shem Melech. Avi loshen zotzin. They desire k'meveli ova Hashem Akecha. No, l'mach. It's a result that they have to hoshev eishes ish. They have to return the tefillah. Hashem is supposed to titzach to the tzaddik yemes. He is spalavatcha ki novi hu. You'll see has the burden for sign the koyach hatefillah. V'chyein b'zechet to a chayim. Well, Hashem. Put them on Taylor Yud Aleph. Arizal brings the posek any Hashem who shmi, Uchleidi li acher, lo etein, uti losi lapsirum. Ani Hashem, Shmi, that's my name, and my covenant I will not give to strangers. I praise I will not give to idols. Arizal will explain this posek later. Arizal says, Ki yesh yichuda ilo v'yichuda tato. There's a yichud elyon, a yichud lamala, and a yichud lamata. Hainu, meaning Shema Yisrael, Baruch Shem K'nochos HaMavad. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. That's a yichud lamala, the higher yichud. Baruch Shem is a yichud lamata. Kol echad miYisrael tzarich sheyihyeh naseh zois al yadai. Every Jew is supposed to see that this yichud should be done through him. Al yedei zeh yachal lova l'tvunas haTorah u'liyanka. Tvunas haTorah u'liyanka. Through this he can come to the tvunas haTorah, to the depth of understanding the chachma and tvunas of the Torah. Ki mishu b'madrega pechusa. Person who's on a low madrega, who adayin l'chok mitzunas haTorah, he is still far from deep understanding of the Torah. Like alidei and soz hadibur, using the word, the peh, mouth as an ensoy, as an intermediary. Yachar lovay l'tzunas haTorah liyanka. That he can come to understand the Torah in depth. I know alidei shu medave v'haTorah b'diburim. So speaking the Torah with words, saying out the words of the Torah. Pasuk says in Mishlei that Torah is life to those who find it. The Gemara in Erev Dash says "L'moitzi ehem bepek." The Gemara says, don't say "moitzi ehem," but "moitzi ehem." Those who bring out with their mouths the words of the Torah, they find the life in the Torah. The Gemara means against in reference to remembering the Torah. A person who reads alone Torah, he forgets it. But a person who says out the words, remembers better. And the word acts as a light for him. In all places he has to do tshuva. Open your mouth and let your words give you light. In reference to learning Torah. The Gemara says that you open your mouth and speak. These words will give you light. Where? To find the place you have to do tshuva. So the whole time of time they call tshuva. Each time through each tshuva that he does, which comes through these words, through the light of these words, he goes one madrega higher and higher. He goes out of his low madrega, and he comes eventually to tvunas haTorah, and he comes eventually to the deep, the high madrega of tvunas haTorah to depth. This is what Yerushalmi Mamre, the two sons of Bilam, said, asked Moshe Rabbeinu. Kevin atamachnas lafarayim. Moshe Rabbeinu came to Mitzrayim to show the miracles that Hashem had given him. So Yerushalmi Mamre said to Moshe Rabbeinu, are you bringing straw into a place where they make bricks? In other words, there's plenty of straw in a place like that. That's all they use. So here Mitzrayim is the place, the origin of kiruv, of magic. So you're going to go bring more magic into here. What's the use? This place is packed with it. What are you going to gain? What are you going to show us? He replied to them, Amri Inshi. There's a saying, people say, Yarka, in a marketplace, a city, a marketplace where they sell yarka, greens, vegetables, yarka shikol. You should bring vegetables there. Although it's a place where they sell vegetables, the place is filled with sellers, merchants who sell this item, still bring it there too. Why? Because if that's the marketplace for it, you have that many more buyers. So Mela, he answered them according to their kasha. That's the kind of tendency he gave them. If this is a place of kiruv, that's the place to bring it. They'll have more customers for it. Arizal taiches Teven zebechinas tevuna. Tevuna tintzedeka. And they asked him, Teven, you're bringing. Teven means tevuna, like the pasuk says, tevuna tintzedeka. Where tevuna will be your guard. Shehem hevinu shemoshe reitzeh lahachnas tevunas haTorah b'Yisrael. They understood that Moshe Rabbeinu wants to be machnas, to bring into the Jews in a deeper understanding of the Torah. The Alkein Shalu Nefer, they asked Moshe Rabbeinu, Kibizman She'en Yisrael Esin Etzon Yishol Mokanim Meshul Yafa. The time when the Jews are not doing the will of Hashem, like in Mitzrayim they were sunk so deep in Tumah, they are compared to offer to dirt. But the Gemara says that the Jews like the Shemayim, the Chachel, they're like the stars in heaven, like the sand, like the earth on the ground. So Yvonne says that when the Jews are doing it, it's initial Mokum, they're like the stars. They go way up. When they don't, then they go way down like dirt. Everyone steps on. So they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, when the Jews are not doing the will of Hashem, they're like Ophor, how can you bring them to a high madrega? The Tvunas HaTorah to the understanding of the Torah. This is the Shabbat question. Tevin. Loshen Tvunas HaTorah to Machnas Lafarayim, to Bechinas Ophor. And the madrega Pchusa, lo madrega. You're trying to bring Tvuna HaTorah to Afarayim to the Jews who are like Ophor now. It's like earth. Heishiv Lahem, so he replied to them, Amri Inshi. Hainu al-Yadei ha'amidos. Amri means they say to these words, like they have Dibur, Shalish HaYisraeli. So the speech, the words of a Jew, who may elay b'cholam and koimish etzorach tshuva. These words will light the place, all places where the Jews have to do tshuva. Then the Moso Yarka, and the koimish etzorach tshuva, the places where they have to do tshuva, Yarka b'chinas tshuva. Yarka is in the tshuva place, but the Medrash, Ayorik Eschanichov, Avraham Avinu, says that when he was told about like being captured, the Yorik Eschanichov. So it says, Ayrikom Parshas Shostim. And it says that he hurried and he considers them, the Parshas Shostim. I know Shazir Zem Lasas Tshuva. His Mazaris, he inspired them to do Tshuva. Why Parshas Shostim? Keep Parshas Shostim, Nemar al Tshuva. Parshas Shostim speaks about going to war, speaks about Tshuva. Whoever is a person who is afraid and weak-hearted should return from battle. He can't go to war. Hayore should be Yodek, Moshe Arizal. He says, what's type he's afraid? He's afraid of the sins that he has on his record. He's afraid these sins might cause his death. He should go back from war. Zehu Amri in Shila Mosa Yarka. I know they have Midas Yadibu Shalishi Yisraeli to the words that are spoken by the Jew, the Mosa Yarka, and the Koimish Etzorach Lasas Tshuva. Those places are asked the tshuva, Yorele Hadibur. Shiyuchalas tshuva. The words will enlighten him, will bring light to be able to do tshuva. Yarko Shkel. Bechinas tshuva samishkol. Yarko again is tshuva. Shkel is mishkol, which means the exact. Tshuva means to do tshuva the right way, to fast the right number of days for each sin, and so. Hadibur Yorele Shiyuchalas tshuva samishkol mamish. Yarko Shkel. This enlightenment will lead him to do tshuva exactly according to Tshuva Samishko, exactly the way he has to. But in order that the Dibur should enlighten him, it's impossible to be covered. Only through covered. Covered is man, Tanish, Yiddish, Yihya, covered, and his Torah for Shleimus. That the covered as Hashem should be complete. Yihya, Kveda, the Ayin, they get covered, and his Torah. That his own covet should be nothing next to the covet of Hashem. I know they are novel, the katnos, Joanibus, and holding himself very small. Kikadachins, the Dibur only covet. You know what the main Dibur is from covet. Kameshikosav Nihu, Melach HaKovet. Hainu Malchus Peh, Malchus is Peh, and Melach HaKovet. So it's even famous that the Malchus Peh is from covet. Kikishahat Torah, Bo'ol Asach, Diburim Pigumim, Lepet Pogum. When the Torah comes into the Buddhim that are pogum, to a mouth that is pogum, that means the mouth becomes pogum, the cover becomes pogum, loy dai she'ein the Buddha had Torah me'im loy, not only the words of Torah do not give him light, ki im gama Torah atzmon is gashem and is chashech shomi piv. The Torah itself becomes filled with gashmius, and it becomes dark through the words of his mouth. Mashikosuv layomush sefer ha-Torah has any picha. These words of the Torah should not become layomush in your mouth. Flame Shabbos, it do not let it get away from you. It shouldn't separate itself from you. But it means Al-Taj Bechinas for Yomeish Choshech. Yomeish is an Indian of you can touch it, Gashmius. Hanushli is Gashmu, is Hashchu Mipicha. That the words of the Torah should become as Gashem, Gashmius, and dark through you. Yomeish Choshech, Gashmius and darkness. Ki Al Yadei Shem Ashkichin, Shiyeh Koved Hashem Yisborach B'Shleimus. Hanushli the godless, because through godless where he's not careful to say the cover that Hashem should be complete. That a person cannot open his mouth to speak be'emes. When he spoke with the gaiva, so his mouth was closed. So then you have a closed mouth, the words cannot come out. The might said the lady Basisa, like they might say the Yerushalmi lady Basisa, Shehe'eluhu lebima, they put up on top of the bima to speak. The tofas ruchay olav, and he became nisgo'eh with gaiva, loy anibun, his lips couldn't move, he couldn't speak. Because through gaiva, he's a bechina avodah zarah. As we mentioned last time, gaiva avodah is one thing. That they're idols, you should burn in fire. It's lashon asad, you should burn. But the Gemara says, "V'chalayim lisarev yisarav dami." A thing which is to be burned, which is only lisarev, it's considered like it is burned. The chitusei mechtas shiurei. The mela is its shiur, the size of it is considered like it's already broken to pieces. Tusa means it's smashed. The Gemara says that what that a shayfer avodah zarah is possible. Why? Because a shayfer you have to have a shear for it, a certain shear and a shayfer. And since one of the zarah is only lisarif, you have to burn it. So it's kisor of domei. If it's sort of, so it's just like afar, it's like dust already, then it hasn't got the shear. Remember the Gemara says also in Chum, you're allowed to use any item of the Zorah for Kisri Hadam, for offer. Because even though it is burned, so you haven't got a shear, but you only have offer for Kisri Hadam. So it doesn't bother us the fact that it's enough to shear. The kiruv shemechtas kosa shiurei, and since the shear is completely broken up, ein like klei hadibur l'dabei mohim. So he hasn't got the klei hadibur because the klei hadibur are also smashed and disintegrated. So he has no klei hadibur. So therefore, since avodah zarah is kesorov domei, there is no klei hadibur, which means that a person who has gaiva does not have klei hadibur. He hasn't got any. His words cannot come out. Ach kishehu nizha v'shayme kavod Hashem sheyeh b'shleimus. But when he is careful, he watches carefully at the kavod Hashem b'shleimus, shehu nizha bein of nimos, that in his eyes, any person who's against the kavod Hashem, he despises. That's pshat. He's careful about the kavod Hashem. So this, he could speak words that give light. He gave light mikvaydai. That's melech hakovet, malchus peh. These words give him light to do tshuva. So this, he can reach the tfunas towards them. He covered the shleimus einay kiyam al yedei vov. The shleimus is only through a bechina of vov. Sheyamshiach l'soicha, that he is mamshiach the vov into it. Kibaloi vov nisha kevad peh. Without the vov and covered, you have kevad peh, where the peh cannot come out. Al yedei vov bechina kavod v'lo yidayim. Well, if you have the vav in there, so it's kavod. The right at the way it's called kavod v'lo yidayim. You do not have a yidayim silence. You have where it could speak. Remember, there says vav, vav is an of meisif, it adds, and the bechinas teisos kedusha. The vav shows that there is a teisos kedusha, additional in kedusha. And shmidas habris, that teisos kedusha is shmidas habris. Whenever there is shmidas habris, that means there is additional kedusha. Remember, Chazal, the Gemara says, call it, which might say geder enva. Whenever you find a geder enva, there's a fence around the enva, that means there is more shmidas habris. Like a mitzvah kedusha, that you will find kedusha, you will find holiness as long as there is a geder enva. There is an additional kedusha, because one is dependent upon the other. Geyus v'niyuf. That gaiva and chil habris are the same. Meshal Chazal al posek the eishes ish nefesh yikora totzud. Eishes ish is a bechina al chil habris. Nefesh yikora totzud, it captures, falls into our power. Nefesh yikora about gaiva. We see the famous that about that gaiva and chil habris are one. They all came bris mechuna b'shem shakai, and therefore bris is mechuna is called with name b'shem shakai. Meshikosu ani kel shakai pedei ulevei. Pedei ulevei is bris, and we have the word shakai there. That this is totally in kel shakai. Ki shakai hu bechina sheyesh dai berakusay l'chol beria. Shakai is she dai, that there is enough in the yetlachkai. They have enough of Hashem for every single creation. The guy just says, She'enei shemen habris, haino yedei geus. When he is not the shemen habris, chas v'shalom, means the geus, the guy who oiseli atzmei avodah zarah. He makes himself into an avodah zarah. He creates avodah zarah. Umare she'ein dailoi be'elokusoi ashtorach avodah zarah. He shows that there is not, chas v'shalom, not enough that a kusoi Hashem, he has to have avodah zarah too. Yaakov pagim b'shakai sheyesh dai b'lekusoi v'chol daya. Therefore, it's pagim and shakai to show which shakai shows there is enough. Hashem is enough for everyone. He has to have even more. So now let's begin with avodah zarah. She'ein habris, but when he is she'ein habris, u'zecher li'oid ha'meila l'tshuva kanal, that he is zecher to the oid, the light that gives him light for tshuva kanal. The oid hazel b'chinas tal oidos hakulim b'vov shel koved. This oid, this light which is meir, which enlightens him, is the b'china of tal oidos, 39 oidos lights that are nechlal in the vov of koved. B'chinas hein kol elif al kel pa'onim shalish im geva. All these things Hashem does, from shalish im geva, multiplied 3 times with geva. The means all Tashi's words. Pilam shalish and b'chinas tal oidos shel milui shalish oisias b'shonis. Pilam shalish is the union of tal oidos, 39 of the milui of the first 3 letters of Havaya. Shalish oisias b'shonis shel shem Havayo. The milui alpha and the gematria tal. And b'chinas tal oidos. Because the first 3 letters of Havaya, that's Yud, K, Vov, with Mili Alpha, that means the Shemo, and Begematria Tal, the Begematria 39. How? Because Yud is 20, K with a Vov is 6, K Aleph, 26. And then the Vov with an Aleph is 13. Vov, Aleph, Vov is 13, 26 and 13 is 39. Vihein Klulim Behavov Shel Hashem. They are all Nichlal in the Vov of Hashem. These 3 are Nichlal in the Vov of Hashem. Well, the Vov is the 3rd ice, but they are actually Nichlal in the Vov, because we say 3 times, Pilam Sholish. You take 3 times the Vov itself, the Vov is 13, as we said, Vov Aleph Vov. 3 times the Vov is also Tal, 39. That's what he says, Pilam Sholish, 3 times, 39 Tal in Gever, Shehem Kemulim B'Bris. In means it's Nichlal. In Gever, it's Nichlal in Bris, these 39 others. Kiko Ish Kivudosai. Like the Gemara says in Aseche, Ish Kivudosai, speaking about in Bris, the Gemara says that each man is as strong as he is when it comes to taking a Bris. The Al Shem Zenikila Bris Bayaz. And therefore the Bris Kaddish is called Bayaz. Boy Az, boy Tukfa. Boy Az, in him he has a strength, taking a Bris. Boy Tukfa means Kayach. Avol kishe'enoi shemen habris u'mekalkel tal oidis. If he is chas v'shalom tagim bris kaddish and he's mekalkel, he's spoiled his tal oidis, 39 lights. Mamshech al atzmoi oil ha-panoso and tal malachis. He's mamshech on himself the burden of panoso, the 39 malachis. Kol v'zayra kodesh man dizorak pidud and dinahamo aniyus v'adaf abasarei. Person who throws away, who discards crumbs of bread, the penalty is that he becomes poor. Poverty pursues him. Kol shekain man dizorak pidud and demoicha. The kol shekain, a person who is chas v'shalom the abed, the tippin of the mayach, the bris of the chalor bris kodesh. Surely he has the inyan of what? Of aniyus, which means the lamates malachis, the curse of the zapecha. Zeh boy az, boy kolu shnei habechinois. In this inyan of bris, boy, as we said, is bris. So in the bris is nichlal these 2 bechinas. Az is 77. Kind of lamates oinos, misha shemer habris. You have 39 lights for the one who's shemer habris. Lamates malachas misha pagin by 39 malachas is the one who's pagin. Ki az im ha-kola beis panim tal. Because az with the kola means it's kola both the cases. So it's 77, one is 78, which is equal to twice tal, twice 39. Then Mishkan Shnei Pialim. This is a pshat. We have twice Mishkan. Mishkan b'binyonei and Mishkan b'churbonei. Mishkan when it's built. Mishkan has a shalom when it's destroyed. Shnei Pialim lamates, also twice lamates. Test Malachas Kulin in Mishkan, the question was all on Shabbos, that we know the Indian of 39 Malachas, which are on Shabbos, we learn from Malachas and Mishkan. Let me hear Shemes, but he saw a person who's Shemes of this, Afap Tisha, I say Alamet Test Malachas, even though he does the 39 Malachas, he has to do in a week. The Chinas Malachas and Mishkan, it's the Chinas Kedusha, the Alamet Test Malachas, Malachas and Mishkan, to build a Mishkan, and a Mishkan, Bid Yonei, the Chinas Alamet Test Oidis, that these Malachas and Mishkan, Alamet Test Oidis. Ach Misha Pagin with this person was Chadash on Pagin with this, and Malacha Shalaim, the Chinas Mishkan Bechurabonai. The China of Mishkan, the Churna Mishkan, the Chinas Lamates Malchus. Lamates Malchus, which means punishment, the Eina Shachman also. The Chinas are Boyim Yakenu, the Lo Yosef. What Yakenu means, the Lamates Malchus. The Lo Yosef, because he hadn't had the Taisus Kedusha. And the Chinas began Habris, Bechinas Taisus Canal. He's plugging in the bris. The bris is in the Taisus Kedusha, get it ever, and this is a pekam. Therefore, Abram Yakani has Lamates Malchus. Shmina Sabris Yesh Bayish Nei Bechinas. Shmina Sabris has two Bechinas. There are two Bechinas in Shmina Sabris. Yesh Misha Zivugay B'Sheshis Me'achel. The person who has a zivig in the Sheshis Me'achel. That means, of course, the kashrus. He has been zavig with his wife during the weekdays also. Yaakov became a Shem for this Sayal Torah. So he does according to the Torah, he doesn't do any sin. Sheniyat Medina Torah, he doesn't go outside of Dina Torah. Yesh Mishu Shem and Habris, he Lugay Mi Shabbos l'Shabbos. His living is only on Friday night. So B'chinas Yichuda Ilah, Yichuda Tator. Yichud Ilah is one of the living is only Friday night. Yichud Tator is what the living is during the week too. The B'chinas Shakai Shel Shabbos. The Shakai of Shabbos. She'omar Le'omar Dai. He said, I know my died, that's enough up to here, which means, of course, the Shabbos came and that was the end of the video. Tzimtzim es atzmani kol ha-malachas, Kaviyachol tzimtzim himself more malachas, malachas is finished then. The bechinas yichuda ilah, that's yichud ilah. Yesh bechinas shakai shel chayil, shegam b'chayil yesh tzimtzumim malacha l'chavruta. Chayil also has tzimtzumim. One malacha can't be masig the givul of the second malacha. It also requires tzimtzumim, that's shakai shel chayil. The bechinas malach memtes, sheshul tenosei, shesh tzimei achayil. Moharan Test is Charlotte during the Sheish Me'achel. It's the Shakai Shulchan. Bechina Shisha Sudrei Mishnah. Torah Tomei Pashat Posel. Mutter Rasu. It's a Shmei Kishem Rabbi. The Smalach, his Shem is the same as Shem Rabbi. That means the Smalach when Test is also like the Megillah Shakai. Where she calls it Kishmi Bekirboy. The Pasuk says Kishmi Bekirboy. Move to Rashi Hashem. Like Rashi says there. That this is the Malach Mem Test. The Gematria Shakai. The Bechinas Yichudo Tato, this is the Yichud Mashal Mato, Yichud Tachta, in Chayna Shekarish Baruch Hu Malbish Et Atzma Malach Memtes B'Shesh Yisimei Achel U'Manei Ka'olam Al Yodei. Kaviyachol is Malbish himself in this Malach. That's why he says in Yishlech Malachi Lafanecha. This Malach will learn Malbish myself and Shmi B'Kirabay that this Shakai is Nechwal in Malach Memtes. The Bechinas Halacha V'Kabbalah. This is the union of Halacha and Kabbalah. Kabbalah hi bechinas ishtachvu l'Hashem be'hadras kodesh. V'shetevas Kabbalah. This pasuk is Miramis and Kabbalah. The halacha bechinas sariyu l'Hashem kol ha'oros v'shetevas halacha. Kimuva v'kavonis. It's brought in page 5. Ishtachvu l'Hashem be'hadras kodesh. The bechinas yichuda ilah. Hainu zivik shel Shabbos. The bechinas bris ilah. Sheshon ikirach ishtachavoya. The bris ilah, bris alyoin. There's the main Hishtachavoya bowing. The Bechinas Vayavoyo Achayosef Hishtachvu Loi. The Bechinas Hadras Kodesh. Brothers of Yosef HaTzadik came and bowed to Yosef HaTzadik, who was in Bris Kodesh, the Yichud Ilah. The Bechinas Hadras Kodesh. The Bechinas Bechoyer Shoyra Yehoda Loi. Bechoyer Shoyra is Yosef HaTzadik, Hoda Loi, that's the Hadras Kodesh. That's the Yichud Ilah, that's Kabbalah. Riyo Hashem Kol Hoda, the Bechinas Yichud Tato, Hainu Zivik Shochel. Yichud Tachtoin, that's a zivig in the weekdays, Shul Bechinas, Malach Memtes, Shul Tanosai, Sheshis Me'achel, Shisha Sudei Mishnah. His ruling power is in the 6 days of the week. Zehu Hariyu Loshen Tru of the Zimra. Hariyu is the meaning of shouting and singing. The Bechinas Meknaf Ha'oretz, the Mida is Shemana, Meknaf Ha'oretz, Tachtoin, Mida Shemana, the meaning of Hariyu. Mata Moharan Test, the Bechinas Knaf. It's the Bechina of Knaf. Knaf means hidden. Lashon Vayikonef and Meidecha. That Meidecha will not be hidden. Vayedecha is Meidecha. But Yosef Lovais will have Meidecha. We'll have Kaviyachol, we'll see Hashem. But he will not be hidden anymore. in Shmini Kirboy, in the Malachim test. Because Hashem is stopping himself in the Malachim test with Shemet 36 days a week. So we see the various of the Malachim test in Yat Kunov. The Knaf to order Tzmida Shemanu. From this Malachim test, Yichud Tator, so we have this Midas, that's an Hashem Kol Horas, which is Halacha Yichud Tachtin. Then the Chinas, the Rosen, the Rosen. The Rosen, Seides, and Seides. The Rosen, the Bechinas Halacha. The Rosen alone is the Bechinas Halacha. The Rosen, the Bechinas Kabbalah. The Rosen is in your Kabbalah. His slapshus, the Kabbalah be Halacha. The slabish, the Kabbalah in Halacha. Kabbalah itself, there is no thing as the Rosen without a word for it. The Rosen, the Kabbalah, the slabish, Daka be Halacha. Kabbalah itself you cannot have. With a combination of Halacha. Bechinas Hanhogas HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Sheish Tzmeachol, Shebechinas Yichud Tator. Halacha is the Bechinas Hanhogas Hashem Sheish Tzmeachol, which is the Yichud Tator. The Bechinas Tzvi, the seal of possibly not for this canal. Tzvi la tzadik, Rozi li. Made this possibly before. Tzvi la tzadik and the Bechinas Kedushas Hazivud, the Tzadik Emes Yeshboi Shnei Rozen. There are two services. Yichud Ilo, Yichud Tator, Shein Bechinas Halacha, the Kabbalah, Bechinas Rozen, the Rozen. That's Rozi li. There are two services. You have Bris Kaddish, Bris Ilo, Bris Tator, which are Yichud Ilo, Yichud Tator, which are Halacha and Kabbalah. The Zasham Chazal, the Stimon Zechon, He Chved Hashem li Eilon, who said this posek Sad HaEilon Umrei. Malachim Tess said it. B'Shor Sheomer HaKadosh Baruch Hu Le'ilona Is L'Minehu. When they said that the Ilona should come out L'Minehu, each one to its own kind, not to mix. Nosu Da'ashoyim Kavachayim B'Yatzmon. So the Da'ashoyim, the grass, made a Kavachayim for themselves. They said, Ma Ilona Shem Gevoyim, the Einam Tikufim. My doch the Ilona is the trees, who are so tall, and they aren't so close to each other. Omer HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Minehu, to Hashem said, a warning they should come out to their own kind, not to mix. Kolshkein Anan, so surely we, Shonu Kitanim Utkufim, we are so small and so close together, Shesnichem Lotzis L'Minehu, to our own kind, separately. Posach Sad HaElon V'Yomari, Yichved Hashem Li'Eilon. So the Moharan test said, Yichved Hashem Li'Eilon. Why? Kiviyem is Kam Agdolin, Shezivugon, Einam Tikufim, Rak Mishabbos L'Shabbos, Ilon is means the Gedolim, who are not close, which means the Zivig is not close to each other, but it's only from Shabbos to Shabbos on Friday night. Kam Lohem, his Hira HaTeira Al-Shmiras HaBris, Shishmiras Atzmon Kajikoso, V'Shalom Ne'ezos HaShabbos HaShtedas Biyah, Moving Kavonis. To them too, to those whose Zivig is on Friday night along on Shabbos, also the Teira one is Shamra V'Ne'ezos HaShabbos. They should be careful with the Shabbos, which is HaShtedas Biyah. But the Biyah of Shabbos also requires Shmira. They got to be very careful with this Biyah to have Shmiras HaBris. That's for the Gdel. I know Pisha Zivu Gehu Dak Mishabbos to Shabbos. Although the Zivig is Mishabbos to Shabbos, they can't have Shmira Gdel, so they have to have a very careful Shmira. Bechinas V'Shamru. They should be careful. They should watch to keep the Bris Kodesh. That's for the Gedelim. Kol Shkein HaKtanim Shein Bechinas Tashoyim. The smaller people are Bechinas Tashoyim like grass. Shezivugam Tikufim Gam B'Sheish Me'achal. The Zivig is also close to each other, even in the middle of the week more often. They certainly have to have a Shmira Gedela to be careful to watch. That they should be careful to watch themselves, that they shouldn't be over Chazashon and Isa. Even though that Zivig is during the week too, still they should be careful not to do it according to the Zintayah. Miyad, Kishashoma Sad Ha'ilom Shul Moharan Tesh Shul Tanosa Shesh Me'achar B'chinas Tashoyim. Moharan Tesh heard this. Shinas Yichud Tator. He's the one who shows the Yichud Tator. Posach V'Yom Yichved Hashem. Kavay Dagda. Kavay Shmiras HaBris. V'Shnei B'chinas Hanal HaKavay B'Shvaynis Kanal. He heard the Tashoyim say a Kalachayim like this, that there is now a Shmira for the Kedanon, and now a Shmira too for the Kedanon. So Yichved Hashem Yerom. Kavod Hashem will not be B'Shvaynis. The Kavod can be only with the Vav. The Vav is Kavod B'Shnei B'chinas Shmiras HaBris, and therefore he said Yichved Hashem Yerom. Then so Shai Shmiras HaBris B'Shnei B'chinas Hanal. That's through Shmiras HaBris and Misto B'chinas. She B'chinas Yichuda Ilah V'Yichuda Tator. Hainam Le'ilon is a Dashan. G'dana L'Tanim. So these two G'dana L'Tanim Ilah is Dashan. Zivik Shabbat Zivik Shachayil. B'chinas Halacha V'Kabbalah Rosen. Only the same B'chinas. So these two B'chinas are Shmiras HaBris. They covered the Shlemus canal. They covered the Hashem is complete. They are covered, Zecher Dibur HaMeir, until they covered the Zecher to the Dibur which is light. They had Dibur Yachalav and Tunet Heli, and if you come out to the Dibur, you come to the depth of Tunet HaTeilah canal. This the Arizal says, it's Pshat, you know, Aharon said, didn't know how the hell was in the one time I was going on a ship, I saw this bird. They had a koyat kasuli the night. It was standing until its ankle in water. Kadeshe berikia, and its head reached the heaven. The Amadinos, and we said, we thought less maya. There's probably no water. If it's only standing till its ankle, probably no water. It's not deep. We want to get down to cool ourselves off. Not a braskal yamilon. The braskal came from heaven and said to us, like the chusu v'hocha, you should not go down here. The nafalei chatzina l'bai magda hocha, or shivashnim, because it's 7 years since a hatchet fell, the hatchet of a carpenter fell in this spot, in this water, like motili Aharon, and still didn't reach bottom. Not because there's so much water, it's so deep. Because the current is so strong. Rashi said, "Hi, this shakaihu. This bird is called Zishakai. That's why its head reaches heaven. The prophet says, Zishakai imodi is what means heaven. Then there's all types of ziparta, Zabachinas Hadibur, Ziparta, Tzipart, Rashban, first, Rashban, Chazin, Lai, Ziparta, we said we thought there was no water. We thought that it was not deep. Because it wasn't standing in its water deeper than up to its ankle. Hatzina gathers in a matzad. Hatzina is a hectare plain. Not because the water is deep. Depth of time would take 7 years. That's why the hatchet didn't reach the ground, the bottom. Because of the current of the river, it didn't sink yet. Rabbi Nachman said because of the depth alone. His head reaches heaven. Sipar is in your dibur. Shehu and so'i ben ha'odom shehu nesharin in mayim duchel. The look in a Menachem Mendel Schneerson. The sipar is the dibur, which is the intermediary in between the person who is created from mayim duchel and v'nukvin, mayim of Zohar and Keva. The combination by the zivig of the Zohar and Keva, the both tipais, which create the person. Bein HaShamayim is the tipa sinucha, that's called. Bein HaShamayim, the dibur is the inside between the person to heaven. How does the person reach heaven? By talking about tefillah. Shamayim is the penis Tunet HaTeilah, like I've been explained. That through dibur you can reach the Tunet HaTeilah. You can move on, like the Medrash says, in one arm, Mitzayah, Shetzarah, L'Havi Shnei Tziponim, that the Mitzayah, Mitzay Shemna, who's a Mitzayah, has to bring 2 Tziponim for a kapara. Yavei Patatya, Vichapa Patatya, but the Kalanya, one who speaks, it's a pet. This Mitzay Shemna who spoke, he has to be forgiven. But a tzipar comes. Tzipar is also one that keeps on saying, moving his mouth. So we see the fetish, but how can the Adam be forgiven from heaven? So a tzipar. We see that the tzipar is the mutzah, and Adam l'rekia. Tzipar in this case means a dibur, it's a mutzah between Adam and the Tunis and Torah. The Zeh the quiet, Kasuli b'mayat, was standing until it's ankle in water. Kimeach hashadik b'tzarech l'hoy, l'b'chol m'kan ha'shach, after Shem Tshuva, since the best to give enlightenment in all places. After Tshuva, so the bottom of the chinas of the Galma Geloisa Latishkam, like it says by Rus and Bayaz. Bayaz, she came with the Galma Geloisa, she went down by what it means to the Revayat, the seat, Tishkam, and she lay on the ground. It means that at times, the Shekhinah, Kaviyach has to go way down to the bottom, to reach it until the bottom. She had Dibur, the Tzarech L'Ahoy, and the Odom. The Dibur has to enlighten a person, she will not have Madreget Bechusa, which is the method lowest madrega. Yalki nikra hadibur tziparta, they call it tefillah maya. Therefore, dibur is called a tzipar, which reaches until it's kasur, the maya nefinas adam. That the shechina, that's malchus path, this dibur has to go down to the person who is in such a low madrega. So maya bechinas adam, she knows how to make maya duchim, maya nukvin kiyador. Hadibur shul b'chinas sipar. Koyat kasulei. The dibur, the sipar, reaches until the kasulei, the slow, low place. It's a hodam shmadreged chusa. Kedei lahoy b'chinas the gamak leser kanal. In order to enlighten him, like the Pasuk said, the gamak leser, the malchus went down to the lowest madreged to be mayor for this person. There the koyat kasulei b'maya kanal. Reached such a low place for Maya about this person. Unless Maya, we understood Sheyesh, this goes for deeper, we cannot be there to the deepest thing they cover the strength. So then is all time showing you to cover the Shem strength. How is that? Odom being of Ephes that a person should be nothing in his own eyes. Zehu less Maya, Shodom Yaakov got made by Ayin, that this Maya, this person should be less, be nothing. We wanted to go down, like a shiftless, to lower ourselves. We should be very small and low. But it was la'akudei to make dear nafshin ourselves. Makes a person more precious than gold. And the shahoya ha'anova b'shvil gadlus. This was a false anivus. So in order to reach it, to reach a greatness, there was a anivus l'shem gaiva. To become, to receive covet, to be respected. Because a person knows how low gadlus is regarded. Therefore they are anovan to be respected because of their nivus. To look for gadlus themselves, they can't. They know that gadlus is despised. They think we got the gadlus through our nivus. So the nivus in this case is the top of the gadlus. Therefore, in the case of Anivus, which is top of Gadlus, the top of the negative Gadlus in this case is Anivus, because the whole reason for Anivus is Gadlus. There's no Bechina V'Nachusin, that's for shot in the word. The Yesh, you follow my nothing. They want to take it down to become the show of nothing. But why about Kuri Nafshin? They shall is that here you call him Bachashub, which should become great. Yeah, Gavin was on the edge, because this guy was very much despised. Not like that, Kalaviyama, like Chusilahachim. Like the Chusili, Sholem Bishvil Zet. You shouldn't get down for this reason. Like to raise your own value. The Basko warned them that they shouldn't be aloven in order to receive covet. He's a anivus itachas hagadus, because this anivus is a false anivus, it's a second gadus. Why? Because the nafla chatzina l'badnagla ho shavashne l'makaviyad. Plain tight, he goes to a hatchet that was carved a fell, 7 years, they didn't reach bottom. Shabaska l'himdi Elohim shodesh hagadus. The Basko tells them to be shodesh to mock at gadus. They should stay away from it until the nth degree.